The Sora 2 AI model is now set to shake up the film and television industry.
Announcing the Sora app, powered by the all-new Sora 2.
Might be facing a job crisis, the likes of which the world has never seen before.
Actually, this is AI. Here's the so-called AI slop. Just kidding. I'm not real.
If you're an artist, graphic designer, writer, musician, actor, screenwriter, or just someone who enjoys art and creation, it seems like the end of art is upon us. Large companies use AI in their advertisements instead of commissioning artists or graphic designers. AI art is becoming so indistinguishable from real art to the point where honest artists are accused of using it, and many people have even had their accounts terminated for it. And the first ever fully AI movie has been released, cutting out the need for voice actors, animators, storyboarders, editors, and the dozens of other positions required to make a movie. It feels like humanity has reached the death of creative careers, and there's no point in dreaming anymore. But even with all of these things being true, I genuinely believe that AI art will never be able to replace human artists in any medium, and here's why. This video is broken up into 3 chapters with timestamps down below. I cover a lot of topics and debunk many AI myths, so please stick with me to the end. If you are an artist who is worried about AI, or even someone who uses AI for art, I am confident that by the end of the video, you will hopefully have a newfound inspiration to create art, real human art. Chapter 1. AI art is not art. The quality of AI art is improving rapidly with new technological advances. However, there is one hurdle AI can never overcome. It simply cannot create art. I'm not saying that the software isn't good enough to be considered art. I'm simply saying that anything outputted from an AI software cannot constitute as art. Sometimes the images that AI can produce are beautiful. Sometimes it's not complete slop, but AI can never compare where it cannot compete. Art can only be created by a human being. I love Paul Platt's video on AI because he makes the distinction between entertainment and art and explains how AI art removes all human aspects of what makes art art. Art is a means for someone to show you what the world looks like from their point of view. Whether it's a painting, sonnet, embroidery, photo bash, or digital illustration, they are all shaped by the soul of whoever is creating it. An AI model can try and emulate this humanity, but it cannot create art, only entertainment. Leonardo da Vinci said, "Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art." Even humans can make just entertainment or slop, but only humans can make art that truly impacts people and resonates with the soul. Art is always impacted by the person who is creating it and the conditions they are making it in. I remember analyzing different poets and their poetry in school, and I always wondered why we had to learn about these people just to read their poem, but I realized their art is an extension of themselves. You cannot remove the art from the artist because everything they go through in life impacts the way they create and gives it the real meaning. If you use AI art, you might think I don't understand how the software works, and that AI doesn't just spit out random images. It has to be prompted, and it's being used as a tool. A paintbrush doesn't have a soul. Does it make the painting it creates any less art? But I have thought about that, and a tool requires skill to wield, some more than others. A tool does not completely cut you out of the process and create the finished project for you. That's the same logic of saying you are a chef because you can microwave some Hot Pockets. Well, there's skill in prompting. I have to ask the AI to refine things and tweak things. Guess what? If you commissioned a real artist, that's the exact same process you would have to go through. It doesn't require years of training to know how to ask for what you want or to find reference images to feed the AI. If you commissioned a human to create something, that doesn't make you the artist. It's the exact same thing with AI art generation. You are not a producer of art, you're simply a consumer of the finished project. And for what? Art is something you should take pride in. Even if you're a complete beginner, you are improving every day, and that's something to celebrate. It's something to be proud of. It is a privilege to be able to make art, and it's an achievement to be able to make it good. And by allowing the content AI makes to even be considered art, you are diluting the true value of it. People have been making art for as long as historians can tell. Before written language, humans were making cave paintings and music. And isn't it exciting that we can make something new too? Sure, art sometimes takes a long time to make. It took years for Sony to finish Into the Spider-Verse, but when people saw it, they loved it. It took a long time, but the work showed. People got scenes tattooed onto their bodies. They went crazy for this show. Sure, AI may save time, but why are we in such a rush for? We're like little kids begging our mommies for ice cream before dinner. Some people may not like it, but waiting for something amazing is half of the enjoyment. There's a reason why amazing movies like these stick with us for so long, because it's not every day you witness a life-changing movie that revolutionizes the art industry. Because of the amount of time they spent working on Into the Spider-Verse, people are still talking about how impactful this show was 7 10 years after it was released. AI simply cannot have this attention to detail. In skipping over to the end product, it doesn't allow for such care and vision to be shown. People seem to see AI as this get-rich-quick fix to all of their problems. Companies use it all of the time to cut costs, and Etsy is now flooded with AI art. But if you think AI will get you fame and glory, you are not dreaming big enough. Nobody is going to remember a random AI art piece or the cheap AI advertisement after a few scrolls. But do you know what people remember? They remember good art. They remember human talent. People even like ugly art. They like the underdog, the little kid who can't draw hands, the adult who can't draw dynamic poses. People will remember you if you try. I remember coming home from school every day so excited to watch my favorite animation memes on the TV with my little sister. I love looking for hidden talents and beginner artists. I love seeing the detail and hard work, so much so that I used to slow down the videos so I could take in every single frame of my favorite animations and really appreciate their work. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is doing that for the mass-produced AI art, because it's not art. People who are genuinely interested in art would never choose AI art over commissioning actually talented artists like you. While some companies may be trying to cut costs, they will find that by using AI, they are cutting their profits as well, because nobody is willing to pay to see generated content that isn't even art. Companies will still need artists and animators. The co-founder of Studio Ghibli hates AI with a passion, and business owners with a genuine interest in high-quality products will value human talent over synthesized ones. Sometimes it takes a long time and a bit of money to make something good, but isn't that the beauty of true art?
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Chapter 2. AI art steals from artists. That quote from Kamala Harris was turned into a meme, but I genuinely like it because, yeah, it's so easy to think that this is all there is to life, only the stuff we can remember, but no, we only exist in the context of all that comes before us and the present world we live in now. We are only here because of the choices of our ancestors thousands of years ago. All technological advances today are only possible due to the advancements that humans have already made. AI programs cannot just create art out of thin air. It's not a magical tool that can just channel your artistic energy into a fully rendered drawing. It requires training, and lots of it. To generate an artwork, the AI has to be trained on how to identify objects and recreate them by using thousands of images and artworks. While this is an oversimplification, the concept still remains the same. AI steals from the very people it tries to replace to emulate art. The amount of data needed to train these models to get good is massive, bordering millions of artworks. The vast majority of these creators have not agreed to use their artwork in AI training and are not even made aware that it is. If you are an artist, this fact alone is probably what makes you hate AI and feel hopeless against it. But this is not a reason to give up. Because AI can only learn from already created works, it cannot innovate. It cannot experiment with new art techniques and styles and push the envelope. Without artists, AI art will stagnate and die. Without humans, every single style of art would not have been created. From cubism to hyperrealism, there is not a single new art style that has been created by AI, and even if there somehow was, it would be a sad blend of some other artist's genuine hard work. AI art is trained off of artists' work without their permission, while simultaneously making it harder to find the original creator's work. Yes, artists have been getting inspired by other people since the dawn of art. However, some sort of tribute should be given to the original artist. Plagiarism is still a real issue. That's why the art community gets so mad at people for tracing and passing it as their own art. The problem with AI art is it's nearly impossible to find every artist the output is based on because it's a terrible Frankenstein's monster combination. By simply using AI to create art, you are plagiarizing from dozens, if not hundreds of artists. This may not seem like a big deal, but the problem comes when you are using this to put down other artists or take away their means of making a living. It is possible to use AI to directly copy a specific artist's art style, and that's a big issue. Some defenders of AI claim that the artist's work falls under fair use, and by posting the work it gives them the right to use their artwork, but these artists never knew that their work would be used this way. Imagine waking up to find your face plastered on billboards and turned into a deepfake to endorse a product you never used. You would most likely be livid, but imagine the courts said that this was completely legal because you stepped outside in public so you consented to having your likeness taken and used. Artists should not have to hide their work so they won't get it stolen. Disney is currently in the process of suing Midjourney for using their characters to make money. This case would set the precedent of what counts as fair use regarding AI art. However, Copyright laws with AI in mind have yet to be created, so there is a very gray area on whether or not using everyone's art in training is fair use. But even if the courts side with AI companies, you as an individual should have your own moral compass. The courts ruled that segregation was protected by the Constitution in the landmark case of Plessy v. Ferguson. While race-based segregation and generative AI are two vastly different cases, it is simply a reminder that the law isn't always right. The direct copying of someone's style using AI is the most blatant case of stealing, as it takes opportunities for the artist to get commissions, and it takes their art style that they spent a long time to develop. Simply using AI without a copyrighted character or style in mind is morally ambiguous. But the truth still remains that AI makes it much harder for artists to find jobs or any recognition for their work. While taking pictures of people in public spaces is technically legal, if they tell you they don't want you to do it and you still do it, then you lack empathy and respect for your fellow humans. Chapter 3. Real artists are fighting back. AI is inevitable. Artists will go the way of the horse and buggy, and there's no way to stop it. This is what most people believe, that there is no point in dreaming to become an artist, as AI art is the inevitable future. But as technology advances to create AI and generate art, there is a new technology to counter this. Introducing Nightshade and Glaze. These programs work as an offensive and defensive pair. Nightshade coats your artwork to poison AI models that scrape the internet for artworks, and Glaze stops people from specifically copying your art style as defense. Nightshade and Glaze are both free to use, and they cause minimal disturbance to your artwork. I will include links to their pages in the description. Everyone who posts their art online should be using both Nightshade and Glaze. As a YouTube creator, it is very hard for me to do this because it would require me to code every individual artwork I use in my videos, and that would be nearly impossible and too time consuming. However, since my art style is so unpredictable and I work with several art mediums, I do not have a stealable art style that is widely recognizable. I will, however, be coding the artwork that take a very long time to create. If you post finished artworks on Instagram or TikTok, however, it is much easier to code a single drawing. And by using this, companies will have to think twice about stealing artworks without permission because of the risk of corrupting their software. People who say that Nightshade and Glaze don't work want you to leave your artworks unprotected. The more people who use Nightshade, the more effective it becomes. Nightshade works by turning one prompt into something else. So if someone asks to generate an image of a cat, they will actually get a dog. And Glaze works by making it nearly impossible to copy your personal style. So if they do input your artwork and ask AI to copy the style, it will make a random mess. This may seem unfair as an artist that you have to go through all these measures just so your artwork doesn't get stolen, but I think this is an opportunity for us as artists to take back our property. AI art supporters seem to believe that AI will only get better and real artists will have no place in the future, but by utilizing these weapons, we can actually make AI get worse and scare companies into either compensating artists or making an opt-out program instead of unconsensual theft. AI will never be able to compete with human effort, and the main point is they shouldn't. Art is not a competition, it's a showcase. The only competition is the one you have with yourself as you try and hone your craft, whatever it may be. Every person is a creator in some way, whether your art form is music, illustration, food, dance, sports, home decor, or flower arrangement. We should all fight for what our hearts find true, and not use AI to replace all the soulful parts of life with an artificial emptiness. And even if you don't have any art form, this is the perfect time to start. There are so many tutorials and so many different mediums and styles. Create something, allow yourself to feel something, and even if it's the worst thing you've ever seen, it's still a beginning. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, every artist was first an amateur, so the only thing stopping you from greatness is you. So start dreaming and become an artist. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a like, as these take me a very long time and it would help me out a lot. And if you know anybody who would benefit from this video, then don't forget to send it to them. I know this isn't my usual video, but I just really felt like I had to talk about this. Please check out my description, as I have a lot of sources and other information in there. And please check out my other videos. They take me a really long time to make, so please head over and give them a like.